Hey guys, what's up? Today I'm bringing you another video on my 1980 Saab 900 Turbo. So what I'm doing today is I am going to replace this instrument cluster once again. The reason I went to put this one in is it goes up to 125, and you know that seems a bit more reliable for me. So, show you what happens when you put an APC gauge cluster in instead of a non-APC and a non-APC turbo vehicle. Whew. Always make sure you're in neutral. That could have been bad. So as you can see, what happens is the brake fluid light is on constantly, and neither the fuel or temperature gauge works. So that's what we're going to be fixing today. So let's get started, right? Alright, so the next step is going to take a Phillips head screwdriver, like so, and remove the 4 screws that are going up through the bottom of the dash panel. So they are located right here, just here, 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 and here, which holds in this fascia plate. So let's get those out. So as you can see, I've already got them started. So they'll just pull right out. The trick with these is, as you can see, or hopefully you can see, bring it over here, there is a whole bunch of little marks down here at the base of the screw, and that lets you know which part that this goes on. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4. And the number of rings around the bottom just above the threads will indicate which screw goes where. So now that we got all the screws out, let's start taking apart the dash. Alright, so the next step is going to be removing these buttons. So what I recommend is like a screwdriver or something, just something you can get behind there and just pop them out. As you can see, that didn't work right, but it's allowing me to get a grip in there to just sort of pop the button out. So then you're gonna unplug, and this isn't a button so much as just a cover, and we also got defrost button and recirculate button. So now those buttons there are removed, and you can just sort of push that back in there. Another thing you're going to want to do is make sure that your wiper blade and blinker are all the way down, just so you have a bit more space to work with. So next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get behind this and pop out this mirror button, because this car is equipped with power mirrors. And like so. And you can just wiggle it out like that. Alright, and then bring it over to this side. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pop out the headlight switch, just wiggle that off, and then just do the same process for the rest of the buttons. Alright, so now that I've taken care of all the switches, it's time to take out the radio, which I have an aftermarket one in here, so hopefully it won't give me too much trouble. But should just be able to get right in there and pull it out. Alright, so as you can see, it's just a mess of wires, but in order to unplug this, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a screwdriver, just sort of wiggle it out side to side till it pops out like that. Alright, and then I'm going to support it with my knee here while I switch to a Phillips head. So I am using a number 2 Phillips to remove the screw for this, just so that we don't have a whole bunch of ground wires getting in my way. Alright, and then for the easiest part, the antenna cable just pops right out, and now the stereo is removed. So what we'll do is next we'll take a look in here, and as you can see there's a whole bunch of wires and stuff that we have to unplug. So what I'm going to do is this dash panel will just pull out, as you can see, which will make this a heck of a lot easier. So that'll just unplug right there, as you can see. And then I'm just gonna unplug the heater cable, or this thing, I always forget what it's called, and then just start unplugging the wires and making sure that everything's getting out of the way. Fan speed control switch, it's just another thing, just unplugs. Alright, so I grabbed a flat blade screwdriver, and you should just be able to reach in there like so and just pop it right off. So next I'm gonna just come back here. As you can see, there's a few more wires that need unplugged, which the cord for the cigarette lighter, alright, so cigarette lighter is unplugged, and pull out the lights that are there, and we got this purple wire up there, right there, and this one there. Alright, and now your fascia plate should be completely disconnected. So you should just be able to just sort of angle it out like so. And there you go. Fascia plate is removed, as you can see. So back behind here we have one heck of a mess of wires, so I'm not gonna burden you guys with sorting through them all, but yeah, so the next step is gonna be popping off the driver's side speaker, and it should just pop right off fairly easily. And the speaker actually came unplugged as I was pulling it out, which save me a little bit of time. So you're going to want to take that out of the way, make sure that your speaker wire is out of the way as well. So if you come outside of the car, look in through there, you have a perfect view of the things you need to unplug. So we're going to have to unplug the speedometer cable, the vacuum line, which is right there, and the two pigtails that plug into. Alright, so it took me about 5 seconds, and as you can see, accelerated cable is removed. So next, I'm going to pull the vacuum line, which another thing that you can do by braille, but it should just pop right off just like that. So now I always suggest just bring this up there so that you don't lose track of it, and that leaves you with just the two pigtails wired in, which should come off fairly easily. So we got pigtail back here and pigtail back there, as you can see. So I will come back right after I pop those off. Alright, so before you go and get excited and try to pull the pigtails, make the job a bit easier on yourself and remove the 4 screws holding in the dash cluster. So there's going to be 2 here on the left side and 2 here on the right side. You can see it a little better back through there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove these 4 screws to make it a lot easier to get to the back of the dash cluster to unplug. Alright, so as you can see, 4 screws are removed, which will make it quite a bit easier to get to the pigtails. So pretty much all you're having to do at this point is just contend with the wires and the amount of slack that you can get on them. So what I usually do is I pull the right side of the speedometer, and it'll be most likely the opposite for right-hand drive cars. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to take the pigtails and unplug them on each side, and then this dash cluster will just lift right out. We're going to pull it towards the center of the car, and it'll pull out really easy. Alright, so now I have the pigtails both unplugged. So we are going to tilt this forward, get a good hold of it, and we're going to lift and sort of tilt our way out towards the center of the car. And now the dash cluster is removed.